Fly fishing from the stand-up paddleboard is one thing. Pursuing large, scaled, skittish fish like the common carp on a stand-up paddleboard with a fly rod in hand is a delicate and difficult task. However, if you're up for the challenge, the payoff is pretty great. If you're new to fly fishing for carp, this video won't talk much about the basics of carp fly fishing, but know that common carp are a great and challenging target for the fly angler, particularly those that are looking to hone in their casting abilities, or even those who have a notion to go hunting for fish. Combining this with fly fishing from the paddleboard, the stand-up paddleboard fly angler has his work cut out for him when chasing carp on the fly. So here are some things to consider in regards to chasing carp on the fly while on the stand-up paddleboard. Stealth. One of the huge benefits of fly fishing from a stand-up paddleboard, as opposed to any other vessel, is the ability to quietly approach your fishing spot. Carp are primarily scent-oriented feeders, but at close range, food-looking objects will invoke a feeding response from a common carp that is pretty fun to witness. Because of this, casting precision is paramount. And a quiet, stealthy approach to the fish will allow you to get closer to the carp and to have a manageable cast that you can present within a close distance of the carp's head. Multitasking. You will likely have to become very comfortable with knowing the movements of your paddleboard and what paddling strokes it takes to manipulate your board into position. There is a really good chance that you will possibly end up with your fly rod in one hand and your paddle in the other while pursuing carp. And it is important that you don't drop your paddle or your rod, and that you are comfortable maneuvering yourself into position while possibly paddling with only one hand.
I'm gonna have to paddle against him. Just inhale the clouser.
Fighting the fish. One of the challenges of fly fishing for carp from the stand-up paddleboard is what to do once a fish is hooked. In a dream scenario, you are able to paddle into position, drop an anchor, cast to the fish, hook the fish, and fight him all the way back to your board. However, especially if you're fishing rivers, you'll find yourself drifting into current and not necessarily being able to make time to drop the anchor before hooking a carp. This can lead to some, interesting scenarios. Landing the fish. It is pretty critical to have a net if you're going to chase carp while fly fishing from the paddleboard. Because carp are generally a larger fish species, it becomes rather challenging to bring these fish to hand easily, and a net stacks the odds more so in your favor. Having a net will also lower your chances of accidentally taking a swim while trying to wrangle these river donkeys. Realistic expectations. Carp fly fishing is never easy. However, there is a learning curve when adding any new element to carp fly fishing, including the paddleboard. Yes, having a paddleboard can increase your access to shallow, carpy habitats. However, you will also have to adjust to things like wind, anchoring, storing fly rods and other gear on your board, and other unforeseen factors that can impact your ability to carry out your typical fly fishing routines. If you have any other questions about fly fishing for carp or fly fishing from a stand-up paddleboard, feel free to reach out and ask questions. Our contact information is in the description. Tight lines, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the water.